Hi and welcome to today's tutorial. In this video, I'll be taking us through the process of cutting and stitching this deep plunge cowl neck top. This is super easy and very simple to make. You can have this done in less than 20 minutes tops. Okay, so I believe this is something you would love to watch. Now let's get right into cutting proper. So my fabric table, I have this squared fabric, and then this point here is from one point of your shoulder to the other point of your shoulder in a U form, and the width of this is 30.5 inches. You will be needing less than 1 yard of fabric for this. Now on this side of the fabric is the length of the blouse, and for me I'm working with 26 inches, so just determine whatever it is that you want. The first thing I'm going to be doing right away is on all sides I'm just going to double fold. I'm going to give a double fold on all sides and I will run a stitch all the way. So this piece of fabric here is for my collar, and the length of this is 15.5 inches. My actual neck circumference is 14.5 inches. Then I need half of an inch on both sides for stitching. Now on fold, I've used only one side of this fabric and it's 2.25 inch. By the time I use half of an inch to stitch, I'll be left with 1.75, which will be the width of my collar. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to indicate half of an inch on both sides, and this is for my stitching allowance. And then after that I'm just going to get whatever it is that I have in between. Now this should be your exact neck circumference. I'm just trying to reconfirm that I did. Yeah, okay, so that's 14.5. So I'm going to get half of that, which is 7.25, and then I will just make a mark of about half of an inch at the top here. So now from this point, which is my center, I'm going to be taking 4.5 inches on both sides. You can decide to do 4 inches or 5 inches. It just depends on what you want, but 4.5 is fine for me. Now from this 4.5 mark, I'm going to be going out by 1 inch on this side and 1 inch on this side as well. And then this is how I'm going to be stitching it. Now I'll take this to the sewing machine. I will stitch closing this side, and of course I'll stitch closing the other side as well, and then I will stitch using half of an inch on this side, and I will skip this 1 inch here. I'll move over here and stitch all the way to this side up to this 1 inch, and then I will skip and then I'll continue stitching, and I will flip this over to the right side. Now I have this long piece of fabric here and it's on fold, and I have two pieces, and this will serve as my belt. So if you notice, one part is wider than the other. Now this small part is where I'll be attaching to my main fabric, and it measures 4 inches, and then this wider part measures 6 inches. So what I'm going to be doing right away is I will fold this right sides facing each other, take it to the sewing machine and stitch from this point all the way to that point and all the way to the bottom, and then I will turn it to the right side. Now I'm done sewing my fabric, this squared fabric right here, okay? And then what I have here at the end of the day is 29.5 inches. So now I'm going to be introducing my collar, which I have ironed. Now this is the 1 inch opening on this side, and then this is the 1 inch opening on this side as well. So I'm going to place it facing me on my table, and this is the plunge effect. Now I'm going to be tucking in one of the pointy ends into the 1 inch opening. Okay, just about half of an inch is all you need to tuck in, and I will be holding this down using my pin. And I'm also going to be repeating the same process on this side as well. So just about half of an inch is all you need to tuck in, and then I will stitch this down as close to the seam as possible, to seal the 1 inch opening. Now, yeah, now at the bottom is where I'm going to be attaching my belt. So I actually folded it in, and then I used the hemming gum to seal it properly, so it's giving a very neat finishing. And this is where I'm going to be attaching my belt behind here. I will just run a stitch or two at this point to hold it down, and I'll do the same on the other side. Now we're done attaching our collar, and this is what it looks like. This is the back, and this is the front, and this is our plunge. Now I actually changed my mind as to where fix it where I initially wanted to. Okay, so from the bottom, I went up by 9 inches, and that was where I ended up fixing the belt. So just do what works for you. I just wanted something different. Yeah. And then at this point here, just attach fix a hook and an eye, and then this top is ready to be worn. I'll place it on a mannequin for us to see. And this is the end result, guys. You'd agree with me that this was super easy to make and fun. So please don't leave without subscribing if you haven't. Till my next video. Bye.